You can't run from what's yours, Ethan Blackwell muttered under his breath as the rain lashed against the SUV windshield, each droplet exploding in tiny prisms of light across the darkened streets of Manhattan, his hands tight on the leather steering wheel, while Lily Carter beside him kept her eyes on the blurred city lights, voice soft. It's just rain, Ethan, we'll be fine. But her words barely reached him as his mind spun back to the day Sophia Hart had left, the day that had split his life into before and after. And now there she was, stepping onto the crosswalk with two small children whose features held an eerie familiarity, the pale glow of street lamps reflecting in the twins' wide eyes, and Ethan's chest tightened, a mix of shock and disbelief slicing through the controlled calm he usually maintained, the tires skimming puddles as he slowed, heart hammering with a rhythm that echoed in his ears, Lily's fingers tightening around the seatbelt, whispering, "Who is she?" And Ethan's jaw set as he watched Sophia hesitate, glance over her shoulder, then press forward, a cautious urgency in her steps, the children clutching her hands, oblivious to the invisible barrier of tension radiating from the SUV, memories of shared laughter and heartbreak flashing across Ethan's mind, each one a reminder of what he had thought was lost and what might now demand reckoning. He swallowed hard, eyes flicking between Lily's concerned gaze and the twins whose small movements mirrored gestures he remembered teaching in forgotten afternoons, a sinking certainty rooting in his stomach, the city around them a blur of neon and wet asphalt, honking horns and distant sirens muted by the storm. And yet the world had narrowed to that single crosswalk, to Sophia's hesitant steps, to the fragile innocence of the children he was only just realizing he might have a claim to. Adrenaline spiking as he eased the SUV to a stop, rain streaking down the windshield like tears he hadn't allowed himself to shed, Lily's hand brushing against his sleeve, the gesture grounding him, pulling him from the whirlwind of recollections, yet failing to calm the storm inside. Ethan's voice low, deliberate, carrying an authority honed from years of commanding people and situations. "Stop. Watch them." And Lily obeyed, eyes wide as the twins paused, looking up at their mother, the scene suspended in a tension so thick it pressed against the ribs and tightened throats. Ethan's mind racing, cataloging every detail, the angle of Sophia's gaze, the tilt of the twins' heads, the echo of the past in the smallest gestures, and the questions that had been dormant for years rising, urgent and uncompromising. Are they mine? Did I miss this while I was blinded by my own need for control and power? The SUV idled silently, engine hum a low counterpoint to the storm. Ethan's fingers flexing over the wheel, knuckles white, as he made a decision he knew could not be reversed, one step, one breath at a time, until he would have to confront the truth of his past and the reality that had been hiding in plain sight. And Lily's soft whisper, almost drowned by the rain, "Ethan, what is it?" hung in the air like a fragile lifeline, tethering them to the present, as Ethan exhaled slowly, finally, breaking his gaze from the twins, voice tight with unspoken emotion. "We're going to find out." Leaving the wet street, the hesitant mother, and the children frozen in that liminal moment, a storm both outside and within, a promise of revelations to come, and an unspoken question echoing in the dark night, compelling every heartbeat, every second, to wait for the next move. The SUV rolled slowly to a stop a few blocks away, rain dripping from the wipers in steady, hypnotic rhythm. Ethan Blackwell sitting tensely behind the wheel, while Lily Carter's hand rested lightly on his arm, her green eyes wide with anticipation and a touch of fear, the city around them blurred into streaks of neon, headlights, and wet asphalt. Each breath they took synchronized with the storm outside. Ethan's gaze fixed on the distant figure of Sophia Hart, who moved with careful urgency, the twins holding tightly to her fingers, their small bodies a mirror of innocence and fragility in the chaotic night. Ethan's thoughts racing with memories of missed chances, unspoken confessions, and the echo of promises made long ago. He adjusted his grip on the wheel, knuckles whitening, feeling the pulse of the engine and the hum of tires on wet pavement as a grounding rhythm. Lily leaning slightly forward, whispering softly, "What do we do now?" Her voice barely above the storm, carrying both curiosity and apprehension, and Ethan exhaled slowly, voice low and controlled. "We follow." Carefully, the words deliberate, each syllable weighed with authority and care, and as they navigated the slick streets, Ethan's mind cataloged every motion, every glance, every pause Sophia made, the subtle cues of someone protecting what mattered most, the twins glancing up at their mother, eyes wide, uncertain, and Ethan's chest tightened again, a knot of responsibility and fear, the air inside the SUV thick with tension, yet punctuated by the occasional drip of water and distant honk of a horn, Lily's hand brushing against his sleeve, grounding him, reminding him he was not alone in this. The SUV rounding a corner and coming upon a small, dimly lit park, the rain falling in sheets, and Ethan's eyes caught the glimmer of reflections in puddles as Sophia paused beneath the glow of a lone street lamp, the twins tugging slightly, sensing the hesitation of their mother. And Ethan's breath caught as he recognized a familiar stance, a tilt of the head, a gesture mirrored from years past. His heart pounding in rhythm with the storm, each beat echoing in his ears, a warning, a reminder, and a question lingering unspoken. What truths had remained hidden all these years? What stories were about to emerge? And could they bear the weight of them? Lily leaning closer, whispering, "They look just like you." And Ethan's eyes flickered to her, disbelief mingling with realization, the rain casting shadows across her worried face. And he nodded slowly, voice tight with emotion, "I know." The single word carrying the weight of decades of love, loss, and uncertainty. The SUV idling silently. Engine hum a counterpoint to the patter of rain. Ethan's fingers flexing over the wheel, as if testing the reality of the moment, each second stretching longer than the last. The twins taking a tentative step toward a small fountain, Sophia's hand hovering over theirs, protective, cautious, Ethan's gaze sharp, calculating, yet tempered by something softer, a sense of connection, of possibility, of answers waiting to be revealed. Lily reaching for his hand, a silent reminder that they were in this together, and Ethan exhaled, letting the storm outside and the tension within coalesce, knowing that the next move would define everything. As the trio paused beneath the lamplight, droplets sliding down faces and coats, reflections dancing in the puddles, eyes meeting across distances and time, questions hanging in the air, unresolved and compelling, and Ethan finally spoke, voice low, deliberate, carrying both authority and something approaching vulnerability. "We need to know everything." And Lily's grip tightened, a shared understanding passing between them, the rain relentless, the night holding its breath, and Sophia glanced up, eyes meeting Ethan's across the wet expanse, a recognition passing between them, silent but charged, the twins shifting slightly, sensing the gravity of the moment, Ethan's jaw tightening, heart pounding, the air electric, each breath a countdown, a prelude to revelation. And as the SUV rolled forward again, following the careful steps of the past and the cautious movements of the present, the city lights reflected in wet streets like a fractured mosaic of what had been, what was, and what was yet to come, a silent promise that the truths waiting in the shadows would soon step into the light. The SUV slowed as Ethan Blackwell navigated the slick streets, rain cascading off the roof like liquid silver, while Lily Carter's hand remained lightly pressed on his arm, her breath shallow and measured, mirroring the tension in the vehicle, the city lights reflecting in the wet asphalt, fractured and shimmering, creating a kaleidoscope of color that seemed almost unreal. And Ethan's eyes never left Sophia Hart, who moved with cautious determination along the sidewalk, the twins' small hands clutched in hers, every step deliberate, measured, the slight hesitation in their movements betraying their uncertainty. And Ethan's mind raced, cataloging every gesture, every glance, searching for the signs, the clues, the truth hidden in plain sight. Lily leaning closer, whispering, "Do you recognize them?" Her voice carrying both concern and wonder, and Ethan exhaled slowly, eyes narrowing as he studied the children, noting the curl of their hair, the tilt of their heads, the way they mirrored expressions he remembered, echoes of laughter and warmth from a past he had thought lost. The SUV idling silently, the hum of the engine a subtle counterpoint to the rhythm of the rain, each droplet tapping against the glass like a metronome counting down the seconds, and Ethan's jaw tightened, a knot of anticipation and disbelief coiling in his chest, the memories pressing in, blending with the present. And he whispered under his breath, "It is them." The words almost lost to the storm, yet carrying a weight that anchored the moment. Lily's eyes widening, voice trembling. "Are you sure?" And Ethan's fingers flexed against the steering wheel, knuckles white, heart thundering in a rhythm that matched the relentless rain. He could feel the tension in the SUV, the electric current between the three adults and the two children suspended in the storm-soaked city. And as they followed at a careful distance, Ethan's gaze sharpened, picking up the subtle movements, the protective gestures of Sophia, the way she adjusted the children's coats against the rain, the way they responded instinctively to her cues, a symphony of nonverbal communication that spoke volumes to him, and memories of laughter, shared secrets, and unspoken promises flooded his mind, colliding with the realization of what had been hidden for years. Lily's hand brushing against his sleeve again, grounding him, reminding him that he was not alone in facing the storm, and Ethan's eyes flicked to her, green eyes wide and questioning, and he nodded subtly, acknowledging both her presence and the gravity of the moment. The twins stopping beneath a lamplight, their faces upturned, innocent and curious, unaware of the currents swirling around them, and Ethan exhaled, feeling the weight of responsibility, the pull of paternal instinct, the need to understand, to reach across the distance of years and secrets to connect. As the SUV moved closer, slowly, deliberately, each tire slicing through puddles, sending arcs of water across the slick street, the city fading into a blur of rain and reflections. And Ethan's breath caught as Sophia glanced over her shoulder, sensing him watching, a flicker of recognition, fear, and uncertainty crossing her face, and he felt a rush of emotion, a mixture of longing, regret, and urgency. Lily whispering again, "What are you going to do?" And Ethan's voice, steady yet laden with intensity, replied, "We find out the truth." And with that, the SUV continued its careful pursuit, shadows of the past pressing forward, the rain a veil between them and the world, yet revealing, in each drop, a reflection of memories, possibilities, and the unspoken questions that would demand answers. The twins glancing up at their mother, trusting, waiting, and Ethan knowing that the next steps, taken with precision, patience, and heart, would define not only what was revealed but how it would shape every future moment for them all, a delicate balance of discovery, protection, and the slow unraveling of truths hidden for too long. As the night stretched on, wet and glimmering, holding its breath, waiting for the revelation that could change everything. The SUV moved cautiously down the slick street, headlights cutting through the sheets of rain like blades of silver. Ethan Blackwell's eyes never leaving Sophia Hart and the twins, their small forms illuminated intermittently by passing streetlights. Lily Carter beside him, holding her coat tighter around her shoulders, the tension in the vehicle palpable, a low hum of the engine and the rhythmic swipe of the wipers filling the silence. Ethan's mind tracing every detail, the tilt of Sophia's head as she guided the children, the way their tiny hands gripped hers, the echoes of gestures he remembered, memories of laughter, arguments, and promises long unspoken swirling in a storm of anticipation and dread, each turn of the wheel calculated to keep them in sight without startling them. The twins glancing curiously at their surroundings, unaware of the silent observer in the darkened SUV. Ethan's chest tightening with each step they took, the weight of years pressing on his shoulders. Lily's voice soft. "Do you think they recognize you?" Barely rising above the patter of rain, and Ethan exhaled slowly, the words catching in his throat. "I am certain." As the SUV slowed to a crawl near a small park, puddles reflecting the dim glow of the streetlights, each ripple of water mirroring the tension, the anticipation, the unspoken questions, the distance between past and present, Ethan's focus unwavering, cataloging every motion, every glance, the careful guidance Sophia gave to the children, the flicker of hesitation in their steps, and he felt the pull of the past, the weight of memories, the gravity of what he was witnessing, a recognition that had been years in coming. Lily's hand brushing his, grounding him, a reminder of the present and of the need for clarity. The twins pausing beneath a lamplight, heads tilted, small expressions caught between curiosity and caution. Ethan's breath hitching as he noted the familiar way one child shifted, the slight gesture that mirrored a movement he had taught long ago, his mind spinning, heart hammering, every fiber of his being attuned to the unfolding scene. The SUV idling, engine a soft purr against the storm, the city around them blurred into streaks of wet color, headlights, and reflections, Ethan exhaling slowly, grounding himself, voice barely audible. We get closer. And Lily nodding, anticipation and worry mingling in her expression. Ethan's gaze sharp as they approached, careful not to draw attention, the distance closing. Sophia, sensing movement behind her, glancing over her shoulder, eyes meeting Ethan's for a brief, charged moment, a flicker of recognition and unease crossing her features, and he felt the tension, the delicate balance of observation, patience, and decision-making, the twins shifting slightly. Sensing the subtle changes, their small hands tightening around their mother's fingers, the rhythm of the rain outside a mirror to the storm within, Ethan's chest tightening again, the knot of emotions, longing, uncertainty, fear, hope, coiling tightly, and Lily whispering, "It is now or never," and Ethan's jaw setting, knuckles white against the wheel, his focus absolute, calculating, yet tempered by the surge of paternal instinct and curiosity, the need to understand, to bridge years of absence and secrets, to see the truth reflected in the eyes of the children. The SUV inching forward, every movement deliberate, measured, and silent, the city fading into background, only the figures under the lamplight in sharp relief, the twins looking up, their small faces reflecting trust and confusion, Sophia poised, protective, yet uncertain, Ethan exhaling, feeling the weight of responsibility and the pull of answers just out of reach, the storm outside a veil and a stage, shadows dancing across wet streets and faces, and he whispered to Lily, voice low and certain, "Prepare yourself, the moment is coming." The anticipation thick, electric, a promise of revelation waiting in the rain-soaked night, a truth long hidden ready to step into the light. The SUV slowed to a cautious crawl as the rain continued its relentless fall, streets glistening with reflections of neon signs and distant traffic lights. Ethan Blackwell's eyes fixed on Sophia Hart and the twins as they paused beneath the lamplight, the children shifting slightly, unsure, glancing at their mother with a mixture of trust and hesitation, while Lily Carter leaned forward, her hand lightly pressing against Ethan's arm, voice barely audible above the storm. "Are you ready?" And Ethan exhaled slowly, jaw tight, mind racing through years of memories, choices, and missed moments. The hum of the engine and the rhythmic swipe of the windshield wipers filling the heavy silence, each second stretching longer, anticipation building, the twins moving a few steps closer to the fountain, their small hands clutching Sophia's fingers, eyes bright and wide, unaware of the storm of emotions swirling around them. Ethan's chest tightening with a mixture of disbelief, hope, and longing, as he noted the familiar gestures in their movements, the tilt of their heads, the subtle expressions that mirrored moments he had once shared, Lily's gaze searching his face, sensing the depth of his thoughts, and Ethan's voice, low and deliberate, breaking the tension, "We observe." Carefully, the words carrying authority and a restrained urgency, as the SUV inched forward, following at a measured distance, the rain creating a silver curtain that separated them from the world, yet highlighted every detail, reflections dancing across the slick asphalt, the street lamps flickering as if signaling the importance of the moment, Ethan's eyes capturing the subtle interactions between Sophia and the twins, the gentle guidance she offered, the slight pauses and adjustments, the instinctive protection that spoke volumes, memories of shared laughter, conversations, and unspoken confessions flooding his mind, intertwining with the present, the SUV rolling silently, engine hum a soft counterpoint to the pounding rain, each turn of the wheel deliberate, calculated, as Ethan balanced observation with patience, the weight of years pressing on his shoulders, the responsibility and the anticipation blending into a tense equilibrium, the twins stopping briefly, looking up at their mother, faces filled with curiosity and innocence. Ethan's pulse quickening as he noted the way one child mirrored a small, familiar gesture, recognition dawning, a knot of emotion tightening in his chest, Lily whispering again, "Do you see it?" And Ethan's green eyes locking onto hers, a silent nod acknowledging both the truth emerging and the storm of feelings within. The SUV moving a few more feet. The city fading into a blur of wet reflections and neon light. Ethan adjusting his grip. On the wheel, pulse hammering, heart and mind aligned in a focused determination. The distance closing between observer and observed. Sophia sensing the gaze behind her, glancing over her shoulder, their eyes meeting across the downpour. A charged moment of recognition and uncertainty. Ethan feeling the weight of years and choices, the tension crackling between past and present, Lily's hand on his sleeve grounding him. A reminder of the moment and of the careful steps yet to take, the twins. Shifting slightly, sensing the intensity, and Ethan's breath catching as he prepared for the next move. A careful approach, measured, deliberate, knowing that in the coming minutes, truth, recognition, and understanding would converge beneath the lamplight and the rain. The SUV inching forward, rain streaking across the windshield like liquid silver, reflections shimmering in the puddles, each droplet a mirror to the storm within, and Ethan whispered, voice low and precise, "We step closer." Nothing more, nothing less. The words anchoring the moment, anticipation electric, the night holding its breath, the unfolding scene a delicate dance of discovery, patience, and revelation. The twins looking up, eyes bright and trusting, Sophia poised, protective, yet uncertain, Ethan feeling the pull of answers long hidden, the weight of responsibility pressing, guiding each decision, each movement. The SUV moving slowly, silently, the world around them fading as the revelations waited, imminent and undeniable, a storm both outside and within, drawing them all forward toward what must be confronted, understood, and ultimately revealed. The rain began to taper, leaving a damp sheen over the streets as Ethan Blackwell guided the SUV closer to the park where Sophia Hart had paused with the twins, his eyes scanning every subtle movement, every expression, the soft glow of the lamplight illuminating the delicate features of the children, their small hands still tightly holding their mothers, Ethan's chest tightening with a mixture of awe and apprehension. Lily Carter beside him inhaling slowly, her fingers brushing his arm in a silent gesture of support, her green eyes wide with a combination of curiosity and concern, the world outside a blur of wet reflections, neon signs, and distant traffic, each droplet of rain catching the light and creating a fragmented mosaic on the asphalt. Ethan exhaling steadily, mind focused, heart racing, balancing patience with the urgency of understanding what had been hidden for years. The SUV inching forward cautiously, tires skimming shallow puddles, reflections rippling as if echoing. The tension inside, the twins shifting slightly, glancing at each other and back to their mother. Their expressions a mixture of trust and caution, Ethan noting every small gesture, every tilt of the head, every micro-expression, his mind cataloging the similarities, the subtle reminders of gestures he remembered, memories of laughter, shared stories, and promises long unspoken flowing through him, Lily whispering softly, "Are they?" Her voice catching slightly, and Ethan meeting her gaze. Briefly, eyes intense, voice low, deliberate. "They are," the single word carrying the weight of recognition and years of unanswered questions, the SUV halting, engine a low hum, wipers slowing as if matching the beat of their hearts. The twins now looking toward the lamplight, faces illuminated, expressions bright and curious, and Ethan felt the surge of something he had not allowed himself to feel in years, the pull of connection, responsibility, and possibility converging, Lily squeezing his arm gently, grounding him, the rain now a gentle patter, softening the night, reflecting the silver glow of the lamps, Ethan's hands adjusting the wheel slightly, eyes never leaving the trio, the city fading behind them as the moment stretched, heavy with anticipation and delicate with emotion. Sophia sensing the movement of the SUV, glancing over her shoulder, eyes meeting Ethan's in a brief, silent acknowledgement, a mixture of recognition, uncertainty, and guarded caution passing between them, the twins shifting slightly, sensing the tension. Ethan's breath catching as he processed the depth of the moment, the years, the secrets, the unspoken connections. His mind tracing the steps that had led to this point, the echoes of past decisions resonating with present reality. Lily's voice again, quiet and steady. "What will you do?" And Ethan exhaled, pulse steadying, a calm settling over the storm within, voice low, measured, yet full of purpose. "We proceed. Slowly. Observe. Understand." The words anchoring the moment, the SUV inching forward, the lamplight glimmering on wet surfaces, reflections dancing across the street, shadows of trees and buildings stretching long, the twins pausing, watching, their small faces curious, innocent, unknowing of the depth of observation, and Ethan felt a surge of clarity, a focus honed from years of patience and attention. The storm outside mirrored by the storm within, the quiet tension in the SUV a counterpoint to the soft rhythm of rain and engine hum. Each second elongated, anticipation building, the delicate balance of action and observation guiding every move. Sophia's posture protective, alert, the twins responsive to her cues, Ethan's green eyes narrowing slightly, cataloging, measuring, absorbing every detail, the promise of revelation pressing forward, the night holding its breath, wet streets stretching ahead, a quiet understanding passing silently between Ethan and Lily, the SUV moving with precision, each motion deliberate, preparing for the moment when truths long hidden would finally surface, reflections in the puddles flickering like memories, rain falling softly now, each drop a reminder of the fragile, intricate dance of patience, discovery, and the delicate unveiling of connections. And Ethan whispered under his breath, voice steady yet imbued with anticipation, "It is time." The words carrying through the quiet storm, signaling a threshold, a turning point, the space between past and present narrowing, and the SUV moving forward, silent, deliberate, eyes fixed, hearts beating in quiet unison, awaiting the moment that would change everything. The SUV came to a gradual stop at the edge of the small park, rain now reduced to a gentle drizzle, the wet pavement reflecting the dim glow of the street lamps like scattered fragments of light. Ethan Blackwell's green eyes locked on Sophia Hart and the twins as they paused near the fountain, the children shifting slightly, curiosity mixed with caution, while Lily Carter leaned forward, hand resting lightly on Ethan's arm, sensing the magnitude of the moment and the weight of unspoken truths. Ethan exhaled slowly, chest tightening as he cataloged every detail, the angle of Sophia's head, the way she adjusted the children's coats against the damp air, the subtle gestures of protection and guidance, each one resonating with echoes from the past, memories of shared laughter and moments long gone flowing through him. The SUV idling silently, engine hum a low counterpoint to the gentle patter of rain, Ethan's jaw set, knuckles flexing against the steering wheel, his mind racing through years of missed opportunities, lost time, and the delicate dance of emotions now poised to converge. Lily's voice a soft whisper. "Do you know for sure?" And Ethan meeting her gaze with steady intensity. "I am certain." The words carrying both confirmation and the weight of anticipation. The twins now standing closer to Sophia, tiny fingers entwined with hers, faces upturned, eyes bright, unknowing of the storm of emotions and realizations unfolding in the eyes of the observer. Ethan's heart thundering, pulse sharp, every instinct attuned to the smallest shift, every gesture, every breath, cataloging, analyzing, understanding the language of movement and presence, the rain streaking across the windshield, a mirror to the tension inside the SUV, reflections dancing on the wet asphalt, creating a kaleidoscope of light and shadow that amplified every heartbeat, every thought. Lily leaning closer, whispering again, "This is it, isn't it?" And Ethan's exhale slow, deliberate, heavy with acknowledgment. "It is," his voice barely above the rain, yet carrying the weight of revelation, anticipation, and the inexorable pull of truth. The SUV inching forward with careful precision, approaching within a distance that balanced observation with discretion, each tire gliding over shallow puddles, sending ripples across the slick street. Ethan's eyes catching the micro-expressions, the subtle signals from Sophia, the way the twins mirrored gestures he had once known intimately, and a surge of emotion welled up, a mixture of wonder, disbelief, and the fragile thread of connection re-emerging. Lily's hand resting lightly on his sleeve, grounding him, reminding him that they were in this together, the park stretching out, quiet except for the drizzle, reflections of lamplight and water shimmering across faces and ground. Ethan's mind tracing the steps, the years, the choices that had led to this intersection, the delicate balance of patience and action, the weight of responsibility pressing down, and yet the pull of recognition and the possibility of reconciliation, the twins shifting slightly. Sensing the energy, their small eyes bright and trusting, Sophia adjusting her stance, protective yet aware, and Ethan's pulse quickening, the breath catching as he prepared for the first step, the careful approach, the gentle engagement that would bridge past and present. The SUV now motionless, engine humming softly, Ethan whispering under his breath, voice steady yet charged. We move slowly. Observe. Respond. The words sealing the moment, the drizzle falling in silver threads, each droplet reflecting the tension, the anticipation, the fragile connection stretching between the past and present. The twins looking up, faces illuminated in the soft lamplight, Ethan exhaling, the weight of years pressing yet lifting simultaneously, Lily's eyes on him, a silent question answered with a nod. The storm outside now a gentle accompaniment to the storm within, the moment poised on the edge of revelation. The SUV a silent witness to the unfolding convergence, each movement deliberate, each breath measured, the night holding its breath, waiting for the first bridge to be crossed, the first acknowledgment, the first truth to emerge from shadows long cast. Ethan's green eyes unwavering, heart and mind in quiet synchronization, ready for the step that would begin to unravel years of secrets and redefine every relationship in that rain-soaked park. The soft drizzle glistening across the wet streets as reflections danced like memories, a prelude to the revelations to come. The threshold of understanding and connection suspended in the gentle glow of lamplight and the quiet night. The drizzle had slowed to a soft mist, the park bathed in the pale glow of lamplights. Ethan Blackwell's eyes fixed on Sophia Hart and the twins, their small forms standing beneath the light. One child tugging gently at his mother's coat, the other glancing around with wide, curious eyes, Ethan's chest tightening with a mixture of awe, disbelief, and anticipation. Lily Carter beside him, her hand brushing his arm, grounding him in the present, her voice low. Are you ready for this? And Ethan exhaled slowly, pulse steadying, mind racing, cataloging every gesture, every micro-expression, the subtle shifts in posture, the protective movements of Sophia, the way the children mirrored her caution and curiosity, memories of past laughter, shared secrets, and long unspoken words flooding him. The SUV idling silently, engine hum a gentle counterpoint to the soft whisper of the rain, reflections dancing across wet streets and puddles, each ripple catching fragments of light like shards of memory. Ethan's jaw tight, knuckles flexing against the steering wheel, the anticipation building with every passing second, the twins pausing, heads tilted, faces illuminated, expressions caught between trust and caution, Ethan exhaling, a low, steady breath carrying the weight of years and unspoken truths, Lily leaning closer, whispering again, you know it is them, and Ethan nodding slightly, eyes fixed on the trio, voice low and deliberate. I know. The words a mixture of certainty and restrained emotion, the SUV moving slowly forward, each motion deliberate, measured, maintaining the delicate balance between observation and proximity, the twins glancing at each other, trusting their mother, Sophia's stance protective, cautious, the subtle flickers of recognition in her eyes as she sensed the presence behind her, Ethan's heart pounding, every sense alive, attuned to the rhythm of the night. The gentle patter of rain now almost soothing. The reflections on the pavement shimmering like fragments of a story waiting to be fully told. The park empty except for the four figures, the lamplight casting long shadows, the city beyond fading into blur. Ethan leaning slightly forward, breath even, mind cataloging the connections, the gestures, the mirrored expressions, the echoes of the past. Lily's fingers brushing his sleeve again, a silent reminder that they were in this together, every heartbeat measured, every glance significant, the twins shifting slightly. Sensing the weight of attention, Ethan's exhale slow, grounding him. The air between the figures charged yet silent, anticipation and recognition threading the space. The SUV inching closer, careful, deliberate. The reflections of lamplight and water blending, the night holding its breath, the fragile balance of patience, understanding, and revelation stretching taut. Ethan whispering under his breath, voice steady. We approach, slowly. The words carrying both command and a subtle reassurance. The children's faces turning toward him briefly, wide-eyed, innocent. The recognition in small gestures, in subtle movements, beginning to resonate. Sophia adjusting her stance, protective, alert, and yet sensing the unspoken bridge forming. Ethan's green eyes reflecting the lamplight, focused, precise, absorbing every detail, every nuance, each step measured, each breath synchronized with the rhythm of the mist. Lily beside him, heart aligned with his. The anticipation building, a promise of understanding and connection hanging in the air. Ethan feeling the pull of long-hidden truths, the weight of responsibility, the tension of what has been and what is about to unfold. The park quiet, wet. Surfaces glistening, droplets falling from leaves and branches. The SUV motionless for a moment. Ethan exhaling slowly, voice low, carrying the certainty and gravity of what is to come. It is time. The words hanging in the mist, a threshold, a pivot between past and present. Every figure poised on the edge of revelation. The night still, reflections shimmering across puddles, the twins' small hands entwined with their mother. Ethan's heart steady, mind sharp, each second pregnant with anticipation, the delicate unveiling of truth imminent, and the rain, the lamplight, the quiet park all bearing witness to the moment that will redefine everything for them. The mist had thinned, leaving a faint shimmer on the streets as Ethan Blackwell guided the SUV closer, his green eyes sharp and unwavering. Every detail of Sophia Hart and the twins etched into his mind. The children now moving slightly with cautious curiosity, glancing up at their mother and then around at the quiet park. Each expression a mixture of trust and uncertainty. Lily Carter leaning forward, hand resting lightly on Ethan's arm, her soft breathing a grounding presence in the tense silence, the rain having slowed to gentle droplets sliding off leaves and branches, the lamplight casting a delicate glow across wet pavement, reflections dancing in small puddles, Ethan cataloging every gesture, the tilt of Sophia's head, the protective movements over the twins, the subtle cues of familiarity and instinct, memories from years ago flooding him, laughter, shared moments, unspoken promises, the weight of what has been, lost pressing against his chest, the SUV idling, engine a soft hum, synchronizing with the rhythm of the mist, each heartbeat measured, deliberate, as anticipation built in every second, the twins pausing beneath the lamplight, small faces upturned, innocent and unaware of the complexity unfolding around them. Ethan exhaling slowly, pulse steady, mind cataloging every nuance, every flicker of recognition. Lily whispering softly, "Do you see it?" And Ethan's gaze meeting hers, steady and intense. Yes, the single word carrying the weight of years, emotions long held, and a surge of anticipation. The SUV inching forward with precision, tires skimming shallow puddles, sending ripples across the asphalt that mirrored the storm of feelings within. Ethan's chest tightening, muscles coiled with focus and restraint, observing without startling, measuring distance and movement. The subtle recognition in Sophia's eyes as she glanced over her shoulder, sensing the presence behind her, the protective tension in her stance, and Ethan feeling the pull of past and present converging, the twins shifting slightly, hands gripping their mother, eyes bright and attentive, Ethan exhaling, breath slow, grounding himself, ready for the first step, the bridge between observation and engagement. Lily's hand brushing his sleeve again, a quiet reassurance, the night around them soft, mist lingering. Reflections of lamplight on wet surfaces glimmering like fragments of memory, the SUV moving carefully forward, each meter deliberate, the anticipation and tension building to a crescendo, Ethan whispering, voice low, deliberate. We approach now. Step carefully. Observe. And the words carrying both command and restraint. The twins looking up with innocence, Sophia adjusting her stance subtly. A mixture of protection and acknowledgement of the unseen observer. Ethan noting every micro-movement, gesture, expression, every small cue of connection or caution, the rhythm of rain, the hum of the SUV, the distant city sounds fading, reflections flickering on the pavement, the park holding its breath, poised between past and present, Lily watching Ethan. Silent support, the weight of years pressing, anticipation coiling, the night thick with possibility, every breath deliberate, Ethan's mind sharp, eyes absorbing every detail, each second stretched into a heightened awareness, the first step toward revelation imminent, the balance between observation, engagement, and the delicate unraveling of hidden truths hanging in the quiet mist, the soft patter of droplets echoing like whispers. Ethan's jaw set, pulse steady but urgent, the SUV inching closer, the distance closing, anticipation electrifying the air. The twins shifting slightly, sensing the charged energy, their hands tight in their mother's. Ethan's eyes reflecting lamplight, focus, and the surge of recognition and connection. Lily's breath shallow, heart aligned with his. The quiet night bearing witness as the bridge between past and present ready to be crossed. Every gesture, glance, and movement loaded with significance. The tension building, holding, ready to release. The revelation looming, suspended in the mist and gentle glow. Ethan whispering once more under his breath, voice steady yet charged. It begins now. The words echoing softly, signaling the start of the moment that will change everything. The night alive with possibilities, the SUV poised, the twins attentive, Sophia alert, Ethan's focus absolute, the air thick with anticipation, the soft rain, the lamplight, and the wet park bearing silent witness to the convergence of past, present, and the truths waiting to step into the light. The mist had lifted just enough to reveal the faint outlines of the park benches and the glimmering surface of the fountain as Ethan Blackwell guided the SUV closer, every muscle in his body coiled with focus. His green eyes locking on Sophia Hart and the twins, the children now standing a few feet ahead, their small hands still tightly entwined with their mothers, movements careful, cautious, yet tinged with curiosity. Lily Carter beside him, hand resting gently on his arm, her breath shallow, eyes wide, fully aware of the magnitude of the moment. The quiet rhythm of rain dripping from leaves and branches a soft counterpoint to the rapid pulse racing through Ethan's chest, each heartbeat a reminder of the weight of years, the long shadow of past choices, the urgency of the truths poised to unfold. The twins glancing up at Sophia, faces illuminated by the warm lamplight, expressions a mixture of trust and apprehension. Ethan cataloging every tilt of their heads, every shift in stance, every subtle cue that might hint at recognition or connection, memories flooding through him, laughter and conversations from years ago blending with the present. The SUV engine a soft hum, blending seamlessly with the gentle pitter-patter of the lingering drizzle. Ethan exhaling slowly, jaw set, knuckles flexed against the leather steering wheel, the air inside thick with anticipation. Lily's whisper, "Do you know for sure?" barely rising above the soft sounds of the night, and Ethan's voice, low, deliberate, carrying the weight of certainty and restraint. "I am certain." The words heavy with unspoken emotions, the SUV inching forward with measured precision, each tire gliding over wet asphalt, sending delicate ripples across shallow puddles, reflections of lamplight and streetlights shimmering like fractured memories. The twins pausing under the lamplight, small faces upturned, innocence and curiosity mingling with caution. Ethan feeling the surge of paternal instinct, a pull of connection and responsibility as if years of absence were pressing down all at once. Lily brushing his sleeve lightly, grounding him, the SUV moving closer, every motion deliberate, the gap closing between observer and observed. Sophia, sensing movement behind her, glancing over her shoulder, eyes meeting Ethan's in a fleeting moment charged with recognition, apprehension, and guarded curiosity, the children shifting slightly, responding instinctively to their mother's stance. Ethan absorbing every micro-expression, every gesture. His heart hammering, pulse synchronized with the soft rhythm of the rain. Reflections on the wet pavement dancing across faces, the quiet night amplifying every subtle cue. Anticipation building to a palpable crescendo. The SUV idling. Engine a soft hum against the gentle drizzle. Ethan whispering under his breath, voice steady yet charged. We step now. Observe and engage carefully. The words a bridge between patience and action, the twins' eyes bright, following their mother, unaware of the weight of attention, Sophia adjusting her posture subtly, protective yet aware, Ethan leaning slightly forward, heart and mind aligned, ready for the first careful engagement, the night holding its breath, reflections flickering across puddles and wet leaves. The park silent except for the delicate rustle of branches and distant city hum, every second. Stretching longer in heightened awareness, the anticipation vibrating through the air, each figure poised on the edge of revelation, Lily's hand a constant reminder of support and presence, Ethan's green eyes absorbing every detail, every micro-gesture, preparing to bridge the gap between observation and the delicate unveiling of truths long hidden. The SUV inching forward with precise control, reflections in puddles and on the lamplight-streaked paths shimmering like pieces of a puzzle about to be completed. Ethan exhaling slowly, steadying himself for the moment when recognition and acknowledgement would pass between the past and present. The mist softening, rain almost gone, leaving the night quiet, contemplative, expectant, the twins looking up once more at their mother. Ethan ready to take the step that would finally converge observation, patience, and the unspoken truths lingering for years into a single, decisive moment. The night alive with the quiet electricity of revelation poised to unfold, shadows and light playing across faces and wet surfaces as the SUV moved closer, every breath, every heartbeat, every glance a measure of anticipation, Ethan whispering one last time under his breath, voice low and resolute. It begins now. The words carrying the weight of years, the promise of discovery, and the threshold of truth ready to be crossed in the rain-soaked park. The night air was thick with mist, the soft glow of the park lamplights casting long reflections across the wet pavement as Ethan Blackwell guided the SUV closer, every muscle coiled with focus, his green eyes fixed on Sophia Hart and the twins, who now stood a few feet apart, tiny hands gripping each other's fingers tightly, their movements cautious yet tinged with curiosity. Ethan's chest tightening with a mixture of awe and anticipation, Lily Carter beside him, hand resting lightly on his arm, her soft breathing steadying the tension in the vehicle, her wide eyes reflecting the faint lamplight as she whispered, "Do you think they know?" And Ethan exhaled slowly, the wordless acknowledgement of years lost, memories of laughter and shared moments mingling with the present, his pulse a steady rhythm against the hum of the SUV engine, droplets of mist sliding from leaves and branches, each one catching the light like tiny fragments of a long-forgotten past, the twins shifting slightly, heads tilting, expressions caught between trust and apprehension, Ethan cataloging every micro-gesture, each subtle indication of recognition, the way Sophia adjusted their coats, protective, alert, the faint flicker of acknowledgement in her eyes as she sensed the observer, every detail etched into his mind, the weight of years pressing against him, Lily's fingers brushing his sleeve, grounding him in the present. The SUV inching forward slowly, tires skimming shallow puddles, ripples reflecting the lamplight in broken patterns across the wet asphalt, Ethan's jaw tight, muscles coiled with anticipation and patience, his breath measured, syncing with the rhythm of the night, reflections shimmering in the puddles like fragments of truth waiting to be revealed, the park quiet except for the soft drip of mist from leaves and branches, the distant hum of the city fading into the background, the twins pausing beneath the lamplight, faces illuminated, innocence and curiosity mirrored in their eyes, Ethan feeling the surge of connection and responsibility, a pull of paternal instinct he had not allowed himself to acknowledge in years. Lily leaning forward, whispering again, "It is happening." And Ethan nodding slightly, eyes sharp, voice low and deliberate. We watch. Carefully, step by step, the words carrying authority and restraint. The SUV inching closer, every movement measured, deliberate, the balance between observation and engagement precise. The twins glancing between their mother and the park, senses alert, unaware of the full weight of the scrutiny. Sophia adjusting her stance subtly, protective yet aware. Ethan absorbing every micro-expression, every subtle cue. The faintest flicker of recognition, memories intertwining with the present, the rhythm of rain and mist blending with the hum of the engine and the tension inside the vehicle. Each second stretching, anticipation building like a tide about to break. Ethan exhaling slowly, grounding himself. The pull of years, choices, and hidden truths pressing. The night holding its breath. Reflections dancing on wet surfaces, shadows stretching long. The SUV poised, every heartbeat deliberate. The soft patter of mist a counterpoint to the mounting anticipation. The twins now turning slightly toward Ethan, small faces bright with trust and innocence. Sophia sensing the moment, eyes flicking briefly, acknowledgment passing silently. Ethan's heart racing, mind sharp, pulse steady, every nerve alert. The threshold between observation and revelation moments away. Lily's hand on his sleeve, a quiet reminder of presence and support. The SUV moving forward, careful, deliberate. Reflections in puddles and lamplight shimmering like fragments of memory. Anticipation electric, the tension in the air. Thick yet delicate. Every gesture, glance, and movement charged with significance. Ethan whispering under his breath, voice low and firm. "It is time." The words resonating with the weight of years, the promise of discovery, and the convergence of past and present. The twins' hands gripping their mothers, faces lifted toward the soft glow, the night holding its breath, poised for the moment when recognition, connection, and the long-hidden truths would finally unfold. The park, the mist, and the gentle glow of lamplights bearing silent witness as the SUV inched forward, every second pregnant with anticipation, every heartbeat measured, the quiet tension ready to give way to the revelation that had waited years in the shadows. Ethan's green eyes unwavering, focus absolute, every movement calculated, and the convergence of past, present, and the delicate unveiling of truth imminent. The soft mist carrying the promise of answers, the night alive with possibility, and every figure suspended in the fragile balance of recognition, anticipation, and the unspoken truths about to step into the light. The night had settled into a calm hush, the soft mist clinging to the park like a veil. Ethan Blackwell's eyes unwavering, tracking Sophia Hart and the twins as they moved cautiously across the wet pavement. The children's small hands tightly entwined with their mothers, each step deliberate, measured, yet tinged with innocent curiosity. Lily Carter beside him, hand resting lightly on his arm, her green eyes reflecting the faint glow of the lamplights, her breathing steadying the tension in the SUV, every sound amplified in the quiet night. The distant hum of the city softened by the mist, reflections of lamplights glimmering across puddles. Ethan cataloging every micro-expression, every subtle movement, every tilt of the twins' heads and flicker of recognition in Sophia's gaze. Memories of past laughter and conversations flowing through him, blending with the present. The weight of years pressing against his chest, the anticipation building, his jaw tight, muscles coiled with controlled tension. The SUV inching forward with measured precision, tires skimming shallow puddles, sending ripples across the asphalt, reflections dancing like shards of memory. The twins pausing beneath the lamplight, faces illuminated, expressions caught between trust and apprehension. Ethan exhaling slowly, breath steady, heart racing with the pull of connection, the surge of paternal instinct. Lily's fingers brushing his sleeve again, grounding him in the present, the moment stretching as observation and anticipation merged. The night quiet except for the gentle patter of mist, the SUV poised, Ethan whispering under his breath, voice low and deliberate. We move carefully. Step by step. Observe. The words carrying the weight of years and the promise of discovery. The twins glancing between their mother and the park, sensing the charged attention. Sophia adjusting her stance subtly, protective, alert, aware of the presence behind her. Ethan absorbing every micro-gesture, every nuance, every flicker of expression that might hint at recognition or understanding. The reflections in puddles and on wet surfaces shimmering like fragments of long-hidden truth, the anticipation thick, almost tangible, each second stretching as he cataloged the past and the present in precise detail. Lily watching, silent support in her posture, breath shallow, sharing the tension. The SUV inching closer, engine A. Low hum beneath the soft mist. Ethan exhaling, grounding himself, pulse steady yet ready, mind sharp and alert. The twins moving slightly, tentative, following their mother's subtle cues. Ethan noting every gesture, every micro-movement, each one resonating with echoes of his own memories. The night holding its breath, reflections flickering on wet asphalt and leaves, a delicate dance of light and shadow. Anticipation coiling like a spring ready to release. Ethan leaning slightly forward, heart and mind aligned, every sense alive, every nerve attuned to the moment. The bridge between observation and engagement narrowing, every heartbeat measured, every glance significant. The twins' small faces bright and alert, Sophia's eyes flicking briefly to him. Acknowledgment passing silently. Ethan's chest tightening with the weight of years and the unspoken possibilities, the mist softening. Rain now only a whisper. Reflections in puddles like fragments of memory waiting to be pieced together. The SUV moving forward slowly, carefully, the air around them thick with anticipation, each movement deliberate, each breath synchronized with the rhythm of the night. Lily beside him, silent witness. Ethan whispering again, voice low, carrying both command and reassurance. Now we see the truth. The words vibrating in the quiet air, signaling the threshold, the moment poised to reveal what had been hidden. The twins' hands still entwined with their mother's, faces lifted toward the soft glow of lamplights. Ethan exhaling, chest tight with the weight of recognition, anticipation, and the pull of long-hidden connections. The park alive with quiet tension, the SUV poised, reflections shimmering, every heartbeat, every breath, every subtle motion threading together into the delicate unveiling of truths. The night holding its breath, the mist and lamplight bearing witness as the convergence of past, present, and revelation drew near. Ethan's green eyes unwavering, focus absolute, the delicate balance of patience, observation, and engagement ready to tip toward the moment when recognition, understanding, and connection would finally emerge, a threshold suspended in time, every figure poised, every movement charged with significance, anticipation vibrating through the wet, glimmering park as the moment approached, the long-hidden truths preparing to step into the light. The night had softened into a quiet stillness, the mist curling around the trees and lamplights like a gentle curtain. Ethan Blackwell sitting poised in the SUV, green eyes fixed on Sophia Hart, and the twins as they paused near the fountain, the children's small hands intertwined with their mothers, movements cautious yet filled with subtle curiosity. Lily Carter beside him, hand brushing his sleeve, grounding him in the tense calm, her breath steady, eyes reflecting both concern and wonder. Ethan exhaled slowly, pulse steadying, mind cataloging every gesture, every tilt of a head, the faint flicker of recognition in the twins' eyes, memories of laughter, conversations, and unspoken promises flooding him. The SUV idling quietly, engine hum a gentle counterpoint to the soft drip of mist from leaves, reflections dancing in puddles and on wet pavement, each ripple a mirror to the anticipation coiling within. The twins pausing beneath the lamplight, faces illuminated, expressions caught between innocence, trust, and a tentative understanding. Ethan's chest tightening with the pull of recognition, the surge of paternal instinct blending with awe and cautious wonder. Lily whispering softly, "It is them." And Ethan meeting her gaze briefly, eyes sharp, voice low and deliberate, "I know." The words heavy with the weight of years and unspoken truths. The SUV inching forward carefully, tires gliding over shallow puddles, sending subtle ripples across the slick street. Reflections flickering like fractured memories. The twins glancing between their mother and the park. Sensing the quiet tension, Sophia adjusting her stance subtly. Protective and aware, Ethan absorbing every micro-expression, every small gesture, the rhythm of the mist, the soft hum of the engine, the quiet night, all blending into a single, suspended moment of awareness. Every second stretched into heightened anticipation, Ethan leaning slightly forward, breath measured, mind poised, the bridge between observation and engagement narrowing with each movement. Lily's hand a quiet anchor beside him, the air thick with the silent electricity of revelation, Ethan exhaling, grounding himself as the threshold approached. The twins' eyes bright, following their mother's lead. Expressions caught in a fragile balance of curiosity and trust, the lamplight glimmering on wet surfaces, reflections of the night shimmering across puddles and leaves, Ethan's focus absolute, each nerve alert, heart steady yet charged, every micro-movement catalogued, every glance, every gesture of Sophia and the children loaded with significance, anticipation vibrating through the night, the SUV poised, ready to move forward at the exact moment when recognition and understanding could unfold. The mist softening further, droplets catching the lamplight like tiny stars, Ethan whispering under his breath, voice low and resolute. Now, the single word carrying the weight of years, the promise of discovery, the convergence of past and present, the delicate balance of patience, observation, and engagement reaching its apex, the twins shifting slightly, hands gripping their mothers, faces illuminated and attentive, Sophia sensing the gaze, eyes meeting Ethan's briefly, acknowledgment passing silently, Ethan's chest tightening, breath slow, steady, mind sharp, the anticipation stretching to its fullest, the soft patter of remaining mist echoing like whispers of the past, the night alive with possibility. Each figure poised on the cusp of revelation. The SUV inching forward carefully, reflections in puddles and lamplight shimmering like pieces of a long-hidden puzzle about to complete, every heartbeat, every breath, every subtle movement threading together in the fragile unveiling of truth, the park holding its breath, shadows and light dancing across wet surfaces, Ethan exhaling, pulse steady, mind focused, ready for the moment when recognition, connection, and understanding would finally step fully into the light, the delicate suspense of the night converging toward the long-awaited revelation, the mist, lamplight, and glimmering wet park all bearing silent witness as past and present collided in a quiet, powerful moment of acknowledgement and awakening.